Well, it was a big bummer to wake up this morning to the news that my longtime friend, Congressman Doug LaMalfa, passed away in the early hours this morning, apparently in the hospital getting some emergency surgery. It's just awful news. Doug and I have known each other since he first started looking at running for the state assembly in the very early 2000s. And wow, if friendship is defined by the amount of time that you spend with somebody, Doug was a good friend indeed. A lot of people are talking about the political implications of his passing because, of course, as a member of Congress with a tight majority, it makes the majority even more super tight. But it's hard for me to think about Doug in the context of politics, even though that's where we met and played and worked hard together for the cause. Doug was a dear friend. Doug was somebody who you could talk to about anything. Doug would talk to you about anything. He would stand by you, and he's somebody you wanted to stand by. His family's awesome. His extended family, his staff is awesome. You know, Doug loved his family. Obviously, he loved his staff. He loved being in Congress. He loved representing the North State of California. And Doug was a patriot. Doug loved the United States of America. Doug and I would walk up the steps of the United States Capitol on occasion, and he would look up and he'd just look over to me, and he would say, "This never gets old." And I guess the day it gets old is the day I shouldn't be here anymore. But I get the same butterflies today that I got the first time I was sworn in as a member of Congress. Anyways, Doug was 65 years old, and this is completely unexpected. And so my heart really goes out to his family and other friends at this time. And as I write about below, I was on the phone this morning with my good friend Joel Anderson, who's a San Diego County supervisor now. But Joel and I and our friend, then State Senator Mark Weiland, and former assemblyman, both he and Joel are former assembly members and senators. We'd go out with Doug. We'd hit the reception circuit as our way of getting dinner without having to spend much money. If you knew the four of us, you would know there were no more four thrifty people in the planet than us. But that didn't keep us after our free dinner from going out and splurging on an awful lot of ice cream on multiple occasions and talking about life, talking about politics, talking about policy, talking about pop culture. Even Doug would talk about NASCAR, which I didn't really care to talk about, but boy, did he like to talk about it. Anyways, Doug, we're going to miss you. What a great guy. And you're leaving a big hole in a lot of hearts today, my friend. And we're all going to be thinking about you and thinking about Jill and the family and everybody. And just tragic news for this January 6th. Thank you very much for listening to this. I'm still processing it. See ya.